Our first talk is going to be from a digital project manager and WordPress security expert from Miami, Florida, Lucas Alvarado.
Good morning. How's everybody doing? I don't think we need the microphone, right? We're okay? You guys can hear me in the back?
Can we do it for recording?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there a way we take it out? Because I like to walk around.
If you can just hold it. One sec, someone's coming up, right?
There we go. Hello, hello. Yeah. All right. Good morning. The first thing I want to say is, thank you for being here. The fact that you're here on a Saturday at 9 a.m. Learning about something that's a little complex, like it's WordPress security. It means that, either where you are in your profession or where you want to learn, or if you're looking to grow, WordCamp, it's usually the best place to do it. This is my second time talking at WordCamp. First time in Jersey. So I usually just come to New York City, but this time around I made it all the way out here to talk to you guys about something that I'm very passionate about, something that hopefully you could learn from my mistakes today, and I'll give you some action items on how to not get hacked. I know it's a little scary. I know it's happened to all of us, I guess. Have any of you been hacked before? WordPress sites? Yeah, just us two? That's it? Yeah, I guess we have to let someone else teach us. But it's happened to me multiple times. I work with big companies. The company I work at now is called Nationwide Transport Services. It's a Fortune 5000 company, and we get thousands of IP requests. People trying to hack, people trying to get into your websites. We get 30, 40, 50,000 traffic a month. So people try to get to our sites to steal information, to steal stuff, and if we are not on top of our stuff, it's pretty easy to do since WordPress, it's on the back end, it's mostly all the same. So when a hacker finds a vulnerability on one of the WordPress sites, they could go ahead and try it out on all of our websites. So so that's who I am. Well, I guess again, I'm a digital project manager at a company called Nationwide Transport Services. They are my only sponsors, so everything that I talk about here is based on my experience. Nobody's paying me anything to talk about a company. If you have a company you want me to talk about, feel free to contact me. But as of now, this is my second time at WordCamp. I also did this talk at in Buffalo, New York, at an event called Color Code, and I'm giving this talk in September at an SEO event in San Diego. So. Are any of you guys going to SEO? Do you guys do SEO? Yeah? All right. Are you going to the SEO event? Brighton SEO. Yes. I was there last year, and then I'm talking this year. Did you like it?
What was that?
Did you like Brighton?
I thought it was great.
Yeah? Me too.
Yeah. I didn't do the Hero Conference side. I did the SEO side.
Okay.
It was excellent.
All right.
Great vendors.
Nice. Also, by the way, this is more of a classroom setting, so if you have any questions, please let me know, and we'll go back and forth. If you would like to wait to the end, that's welcomed as well. And so my previous experiences getting hacked. At the beginning of my career, hello, welcome. No problem. So at the beginning of my career, I was pretty new. I started coding in 2018. I took a bootcamp for software development, and then in 2020 I discovered WordPress, and I got very upset at how I had to learn how to do everything again. So, but no, once I discovered WordPress and I started using it, and I just fell in love with it. The more I used it, the more I liked it. The way that it's so easy to set up, different websites, different things. That it's really good for SEO. All of the things that you need on a website, it's very important and it's easy to set up, especially forms. And the main thing here is usually just forms, lead generation, and SEO. But yeah, my previous experience getting hacked. At the beginning of my career, I didn't know a lot about security, and I had one cPanel with 7 different websites. Do you guys all know what a cPanel is, right? Yeah? Okay. All right, so I had one cPanel with 7 different websites, and somebody found a way to hack into my cPanel. and I lost all 7 websites. And yeah, so I had to use Wayback Machine and different things to try to recover as much data as I could. But yeah, the websites were down at least a week, and I lost a lot of money, time. It's very stressful, and it's really frustrating. So usually what I recommend now is different workflow from what I did. So most hosting companies don't give you access to WHM. If you go directly to cPanel, they usually do. But usually what you like to do, I know it's a little more pricey, costly. You have WHM, which is the parent of the cPanels, and then you have a cPanel for each website. And then on each website, you have the domain, the email files, the database. So that's ideal what you want to have, so that you're more secured. And I walked around, and I saw a few people that offered also servers, and they offer something similar to this. So that's good that now it's coming out of the box. Security. Why does security matter? We're trying to prevent data breaches. Have you guys heard about the last data breach, the mother of all data breaches? 16 billion passwords and emails were hacked from Google and Apple. I think a couple weeks ago. Did you change any passwords for Gmail? Yeah, you did. I did as well for Gmail and for bank for sure. But yeah, 16 billion emails compromised, 16 billion passwords, compromised as well. What would happen? And we're talking about Apple. We're talking about Google, companies that have millions and millions of dollars to spend on security, and they're still getting hacked. So make sure that people tend to have the same passwords for all of their websites, and you don't want if you have a login on your website, we don't want to be part of that data breach. So I know that WordPress encrypts the passwords, but it's very easy to decrypt a MD5 encryption. So, you want to make sure that, you're keeping up with security and that, you're not part of those data breaches. You also want to uphold website integrity. It's very embarrassing when someone puts your domain and instead of going to your website, they go to a Viagra store or something Chinese or a casino. And, it's very embarrassing when it's like if I show you my website right now and it takes you, somewhere else instead of what I want to show you. And you lose money, you lose credibility, you lose a lot of stuff. Again, same thing, supports business continuity and meet legal requirements, especially if you have an e-commerce store. Imagine someone comes to your store and they're buying things from you, and you're storing their websites, you're storing their credit card information, and imagine their credit card gets leaked. Information gets leaked, and it's your fault. There could be legal actions for that. So that's why security is very important. All right. So what do hackers do when they hack you? I think the most popular one. Well, yeah, one of the most popular ones are ransomware. Ransomware is where again you go to your website and instead of showing your website, it's gonna show like a red screen that says your website has been hacked. If you wanna get your files back. Pay this amount of money, different. We all seen ransomware, right? Yeah, so, that happens still. And usually even if you pay the amount of money that they are asking for, most of the times they don't give you your files back. So that's one of the most popular ones. Malware and backdoors, again, sometimes some hackers will, get access to your WordPress dashboard, and they will create a user, with your email, and they'll put a password, and then from there they could log in whenever they want, and they could, steal data or change things on your website, plugins, themes, whichever it's that they're trying to do. Again, steal sensitive data. It's very simple to access files. It's very simple to access what's it called? Your SQL database. So that they could I could do a quick export in 10 seconds of a website. So and in that I have all the information that you have collected throughout the years. Botnet activities, again, sending spam emails, that's very bad for your IP. And if you get hacked and your IP is sending spam emails, you're gonna get flagged right away. Deface the website, so going on the website and changing text, changing themes, changing plugins, changing content, changing anything that they would like to change. And then SEO spam. SEO spam is a little more tricky. SEO spam is when hacker will put links on your content, and you wouldn't be able to see it on the front end. So unless you inspect what you're looking for and inspect the page, you will not be able to see the links on the front end, but Google picks them up. And what happens with that? You lose your SEO ranking. So it's SEO. It's a bread and butter of business, honestly. If you are not ranking on top, you lose millions and millions of dollars. So are any of you very upset with Google right now? With losing traffic? Yes. Yeah. So now, with the AIOs, and they put, the AI on top, and then the sponsors, and then maybe at the end they put one of your links. So, in our company, we're suffering from it. We lost so much traffic. But yeah, no, that's a good thing about this, this kind of work, of development work and SEO work, that, you always have to keep upgrading and learning and knowing things, how to do things better. So right now what we're learning is how to do, the AI and how to rank for AI and not just for SEO. Yeah, so we talked about this, the importance of security. I need to update this, but in 2023, 300,000 malwares were created daily. I think we're at 500,000 now. And believe it or not, the best or their favorite way of hackers to get to your information is still email phishing. I get so many phishing emails. So call it hey, it's my boss. My boss name is Jason. So I get an email from Jason at workemail.com, and it says, get me, $20, $50 Amazon gift cards, please, and leave them on my desk. Or no, send me the numbers. And yeah, sometimes I like to mess with them, and I'll do that. I'll say, hey, I bought the cards and I left them on your desk. But it's not a good idea. The best idea is just to report phishing, and that's it. But yeah, no, sometimes when I have time, I like to mess with people. All right, and then again, the FBI crime report, 800,000 cybercrime complaints in 2023. And it just keeps growing, and the financial losses, and it's just a mess. But yeah, so yeah, here to scare you off a little bit more, if I haven't yet. So this is a simple representation. If you have 6 to 10 plugins, you're 1.6 times more chances of you getting hacked. 11 to 20 plugins, 2 times more chances, and 20 plus plugins, 4 times. So make sure that when you're adding plugins, I know we were talking about it today, that you are getting plugins that are from reputable companies, that are companies that it's a plugin that's being worked on in the last 2, 3, 4 weeks. It's not something that someone built in their backyard or with AI now. Not something that someone vibe coded in an hour, and then you're installing it on your WordPress site, and you just got hacked because of that. So make sure that you're using reputable plugins, reputable themes, and yeah, and then passwords. So for passwords, very simple. If you have one letter, someone could hack it instantly, and then the more complex it gets, the more time it gets to get hacked. So usually, most companies require you now to put like an 8-character password. So if you could do 10, even better. And also, don't use something that could be, don't use a password that could be easily social engineered. So not your significant other's names, your pets' names, where you're from. And stuff like that. Common vulnerabilities. So we know, these are the main ones. So outdated plugins, again, once you log into your dashboard, if you see any plugins that need, updating, please go ahead and do that first. Outdated themes, same thing. If you log into your WordPress website and you have updated themes, please go ahead and update them. Make sure you're using a child theme when you're using that. Do we know what a child theme is? Yes? Okay. Because when you update the theme, that you're gonna lose if you have any scripts that you created or your developers created with PHP or JavaScript, you're gonna lose those. Weak passwords. We just saw it, how easy it is to hack, weak passwords. And then insecure hosting. Don't cheap out on hosting. The time that I got hacked, or the times that I did get hacked, was because I was using a $4 a month hosting. So, it's very important to use, reputable companies. Again, do a little research. We have AI now, so, just if you don't want to do research, just Google or Gemini or Claude or whichever one you like, ChatGPT, which is my right server for me. I'm using a WordPress website that I would like to do, WooCommerce, or it's a blog website, or it's a lead generation. What do you recommend? And the recommendations are usually pretty good. All right, so updating practices. Again, you want to do regular updates for plugins and themes, and then set up automatic updates when possible. I don't like the automated plugins route, but try it out. Maybe it works for you. It usually is not. It's very compatible with in the backend, but sometimes if you're using some kind of page builder, like Elementor or one of the other popular ones, you go on your website and sometimes things are doesn't look right. So if you do have the automated plugin updated, make sure that you are QAing in a timely manner. And if you do go this route, what to look for in an automatic updates plugin? Again, always compatibility. That I can never say that word. I have to change it for something else. Let me try one more time. Compatibility. There we go. That was good enough. Thank you. Yeah. So make sure that it works well with the other plugins that you currently have on your website. That you could update the scheduling. You could schedule when you want to update. I usually used to do this when I tried it out on a Sunday at 2 a.m. Nobody's going on your website on Sunday at 2 a.m. Or use your analytics and check, what time is a good time to do updates. And then check them as soon as you can. Selective updates. Can you check what updates you want to do automatically, or does it just do everything? So that's very important as well. Backup integrations. Most of these plugins offer some kind of backup, so if something goes wrong, you could just go back to the latest version that that was working, and you're good to go. Email notifications. Are you getting an email as soon as all of the plugins were installed or updated? Login and management and ease of use. Is it something that you go on your dashboard and you could easily set it up in a few minutes, or is it something that is going to take you half a day, hours to set up? Is it really worth it? So most plugins have some kind of help that you could just click through it and it'll help you out and it'll set it up for you, but sometimes they don't. So make sure that you're using, again, a reputable company. Sorry, it's my first time having it.
It's a little distracting.
Yeah. All right, so implementing security plugins. How many of you have a security plugin on your website? Yeah, good. It's very important to have a security plugin. We use Security, I think, which is pretty good. But most of the big ones are WordPress, and all of the big ones are pretty good, and they do a lot for you out of the box, like firewall protection, limiting IPs, and if you don't do business outside of the U.S., why are people coming to your website outside of the U.S.? So that's pretty good. So again, yeah, firewall protection, malware scanning. I try to do that every 2-3 weeks, where you scan your files and it'll tell you if you found some kind of malicious code. Have any of you ever seen malicious code? Yeah. Yeah, so I should put a screenshot. Not a lot of people have seen it, but it's not, if you've seen regular code, you could rephrase it or you could kind of see what's going on. But this, the malicious code is usually symbols. So @ symbols, exclamation points, it's just symbols. And if you want to know what it is now, you could just copy and paste it on any AI, and it'll tell you, oh, this is malicious code, and if you have it on your website, please delete it, or don't share it with people. Brute force attack prevention. So again, I know most of you have seen it, that sometimes there's bots or hackers trying to access your dashboard, and they just put name and password, name and password, name and password, and they keep trying until sometimes they're successful or sometimes they give up. But a good security plugin would have that prevention. And yeah, so what to look for in a security plugin? Again, comprehensive threat protection, performance impact. That's a big one. Has it ever happened to you guys that you put a new plugin and your performance just goes down? And why? What is it doing on the front end? Why is my performance down so much? And it all comes back to SEO. So if your performance is down, your SEO rank could come down. So you want to keep an eye on that. Also, why is a security plugin affecting your performance? What is it doing on the front end? It shouldn't have been doing a lot. So it shouldn't. But just double check on that. Again, user interface. I know that most of these plugins have a nice user interface where you could just log into your dashboard and see what's going on, and they have the little graphs and all the the nice stuff for you to look at and quickly understand what's going on. And if not, you could just export reports, and they do a good job on that. Always check customer reviews and ratings. And also check with your peers. You're in a great place right now. If you don't have a security plugin at the moment, maybe someone here could recommend you one. So talk to your peers. YouTube is a great way to learn. I've been learning a lot recently from LinkedIn. Before it used to be more like, hey, I got a new job, yeah. But now it's like, use this or try this or this article. So it's for me, at least my LinkedIn is getting better. And customer reviews and ratings, we talked about that, and support and documentation. Does the plugin offer good documentation? Can you read through what does it have a website where you could read through it and see how to set it up, how to fix things, how to make it compatible with what you're using? All right, so some advanced security measures. I might not go through all of them, but I'll go through the more popular ones, which, again, change the default admin username. So, if you have your login to your dashboard, to your WordPress dashboard, and it's, admin and then a password, try to use something else. Try to use something, different from your name, admin, your email. So that is harder to guess, and, it's not as easy for hackers. Hiding the WP version. Again, if we are all here using 6.7 and a hacker knows how to, hack, or they know a vulnerability on WordPress 6.7, they could potentially hack all of us. So if you hide it, it makes it a little bit more difficult for them to know what version you're using. It's not just a quick scan. Disabling file editing. This one could be done very simple with a PHP code. It's just like one line. And if someone does get access to your dashboard, they will not be able to get to the theme and update changes of your PHP code, which could turn your website down. It could bring your website down in seconds. Salt keys in WordPress. Again, this one's pretty simple to do. And don't be afraid of code anymore. You could potentially go on AI. For coding, I usually use Claude. It works better for me. But if you put on Claude, whatever, hey, I have a WordPress website, some guy I saw on WordCamp told me to salt keys in WordPress, it'll tell you how to do it right away. And it'll give you the code for it, and it'll tell you the steps. And, and what salt keys does is that if someone does potentially access your website, it changes, the username and password or the cookies and the stuff, so that it gets refreshed every day, every 30 days, every month, whichever one works best for you. PHP file execution. That one's more of just any websites. There's some files that need read and create access, and then there's some folders that don't need create and update read access. So make sure that you're disabling those files, those folders that don't need so much access. Limit login attempts. Two-factor authorization. Does anybody here have two-factor authorization on WordPress? Yeah? All right, nice. Yeah, so I have that. I have the Google Authenticator for most things. It's easy setup. It's really good. You just open it and read the numbers and just put it in. So, I recommend if you want to take at least one thing today, add the two-factor authentication. Doesn't have to be for WordPress. At least try it out on something else, on your bank or something. Yes.
Do you use a plugin for that?
No. No. For the two-factor authentication. Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. But most of the plugins or security plugins do come with it. Yeah. Database prefix. So on the WordPress database, out of the box, usually it just says, the tables and the rows. They all start with WP _. So if somebody wants to do a query, or try to hack you using, MySQL, they will start with WP _ because that's, how WordPress is set up. So I would always recommend for you to change that WordPress database prefix. Again, it takes 2 seconds. You go on your phpMyAdmin, you put a SQL code, it changes it for you. Just make sure you know what you're doing, because if you, it could bring your whole website down. So make sure you know what you're doing for that one. Automatically log out IO users. You could accomplish that with the sub keys. And also, if you have, if you have employees, if you have people that don't work for you anymore, why do they need access to your website? Why do they, why are they still there? So make sure that you're deleting these accounts. Usually people are scared because you get an alert that says, if you who do I assign this content to, and just assign it to someone else, yourself, and just delete those users that are not in your company anymore or don't work for you anymore, or maybe you hire a freelancer, or whichever your case might be. Just make sure that you're deleting those accounts. We talked about that one, scanning for malware and vulnerabilities. Oh, I said it better there. I try to scan every 2-3 weeks, but again, maybe every month, try to do a quick scan. It's very simple to do. You could just go on a website and put your link, and it'll do a quick scan. And if it will actually check your files, and it also checks your IP. So if you're sending emails from your website, make sure that IP is secured and safe, and it's not sending emails to spam. DDoS attacks, that usually is handled from your servers, but make sure that you're not expecting that. Restricting access to WP config. This one's important as well. WP config has very valuable information, like your database connection, and you want to make sure that not everybody has access to that. So again, very simple to do. It's just a script, and you're limiting access to the WP config. Cross-site scripting. I was actually doing a little cross-site scripting the other day. Do you guys know what cross-site scripting is? Yes. Okay. So basically, a hacker doesn't really have to access anything from your website. If your website has vulnerabilities on cross-site, I could open the console and I could put JavaScript code and change the content on your website completely. So make sure that this is something that we're looking for. I tried using AI to give me the code for the cross-site scripting, and it told me, no, I can't do that. That's very, very bad. But yeah, no, it's something that I don't need to guess your password or your admin. I don't have to guess anything. I could go on your website, open up, if you allow cross-site scripting, I could, insert my code in a form, and it will deface your whole website in seconds. Restricting database use. Oh, and sorry, one more thing that I could do with cross-site scripting would be stealing people's information. So people that go to your site, I could steal their cookies. So if they had cookies saved with usernames and passwords, I could get that as well. Restricting database user privileges and changing the login URL. I feel like that's the first thing that people usually do with WordPress security. Do you guys change the login URL? Yeah, so instead of being dash WP, I don't even remember what it is. WP admin, it's whatever it is that you want to change it to. That's usually the first way also that I check if a competitor or someone has a WordPress website. I go under domain dash, WP admin, and I check if that's WordPress or not. Regular backups and monitoring. So this is very important. I know that, if for whatever reason I get a call from my boss right now, he tells me, hey, the websites are down. There was a company that had a great video of, there was a guy on a computer and, people came running in, the sales team or someone came running in saying, the website's down, the website's down. And the guy would be, no, the website's not down. And then the whole office will be burning. And, I don't know if you guys had any experience with that, but yeah, it's horrible. When your website's down, it's horrible. And, you're sweating and you don't know what to do and you don't know how to call. Who do I call? Like, I can't call myself. So, make sure that you have regular backups. It's very important. And make sure that your backups are not in the same file system that you have your website. So use a drive, use Google Drive or what is that one called? Dropbox, I think it's called. Dropbox, or have an offline version of your website so that if something does go down, make sure that you could go get up your website back and running in 5, 10, 15 minutes. I don't think I could recommend this, but I'm going to say it. I've been using Loco. I don't know if you guys have heard of Loco. It's like what is it called? It's a platform or it's an app that you download on your computer. No, it's called just Loco, Local. And you have, it's very easy to set up. You just download it, and you could import your files there, and you have a local version of your website. I've been using that for years. Yeah, Loco, yeah.
Not loco.
There we go. No, Loco, no. No, I'm Loco. No, this is Loco. But yeah, no. Make sure that you're implementing, backups, and that you could have your website up and running in minutes. What to look for in a backup plugin? Backup schedule flexibility. I'm good in time. So again, can you set up when and where and what time are you backing up? Compatibility and updates. Comprehensive backup options. Is it easy to set up? Reliable restore functionality and support and documentation. Reliable restore functionality, this one's very important. What if you do have it's happened to me before that I have the backups and I have everything, but I don't know how to use it. So, what is it for? I have it there and, I just have it there. So what am I supposed to do with it? So make sure that you have documentation or that, you have a quick restore set up so that, if something does happen, you could quickly come back up. This is a workflow that I've been using for the last maybe 2 years, which is something that works for me. It could be a little bit of overkill depending on what you're doing. But again, you have your local environment. You go to development. Once you are set up, finishing your changes, whatever it is that you're trying to do, you go to development. Depending on what you're doing on your website, you could go to staging, or you could skip that part and just go to QA. And then on QA, is it ready for deployment? You do your QA, you check all your links, you click on everything, you check your forms, is everything working? And then once you have everything working, you deploy it to live, or, you review and fix issues. So, and then review and fix issues, and you come back to staging. But again, depending on what you're building and what you're doing, I oversee 10 websites, and I think only on 5 we have the whole, workflow. And then the other 5 we don't have local, we just have development and staging. So depending, again, if you have an e-commerce site, if you have, if you're just blogging or doing something simple, you may not have to do all of this. But if you are doing, development and creating plugins and themes and different stuff, this is a workflow that works for me. Hopefully, it helps you out as well. All right, I guess we're in conclusion already. So again, the key takeaways: update plugins and themes regularly. Don't reuse passwords. Let me use that one again. Don't reuse passwords. Install a security plugin. Take advantage of your peers here and see which one they recommend. Use two-factor authorization. limit admin users, do monthly site scans, and have offline backups. Again, if you're doing backups and you're storing them where in the same server where you have your website and your website gets hacked, guess what? The backups get hacked as well. So you lost time for nothing. So make sure that, again, you have your backups offline or in a different server or in a drive or, whichever one is your favorite. Just don't have them there. Offers. That one doesn't work, so don't scan it. But the best thing I could offer you, again, I'm not sponsored. I do this out of my time. LinkedIn connection. Whatever questions you might have that I couldn't answer for you today, just send me a message. We'll talk there. And I just love the WordPress community. I like how everybody's helpful. Usually in the development community, everybody's very helpful. If you have any questions, if you don't know how to do something, usually people are very, they try to help you either because they want to show off or because they're nice. But someone is usually able to help you out and see well, we have the help desk today, so maybe try that out. But I do offer mock interviews. The mock interviews, if you are interested in the mock interviews, if you're looking for a job in tech, I have hired, I don't even know how many people I have hired already in the last 7 years. Also, prepping, I could help you, do mock interviews. So if you are looking for a job, just let me know, and they're 100% guaranteed. If you don't feel more confident after talking to me, cash back or body back or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, thank you very much. And I guess, Tom, we have time for questions? Yeah? All right. Yes, sir.
Do you have access to the slides somewhere?
Sure, I could offer the slides. So that, Tom, how could we do that? Is there like a Slack channel, like an email, or for me to share the slides?
On LinkedIn,
If you connect with me on LinkedIn, I could send them to you from there. Yeah? All right. And it's also recorded, so I'm sure that they're gonna put it on the website as well, so you could see it as well. Sorry, he was first. Yes.
How did you get started in security?
In security, after getting hacked. It usually happens like that. You don't know you have an issue until you have an issue. But I want to say 2020, 2021. And yeah, no, so after I got hacked, I learned, so many valuable lessons that hopefully I would have learned it in a different way. But yeah, no, that's how I got started in security. Security is not my #1 job. I'm a project manager, and I also, code a little bit. But it's something that, I'm very passionate about and that I like to teach and that I like so that people, learn from my mistakes. So yeah, so that's how I got started, I guess. Yes, ma'am.
one of your first slides, you spoke about using WHM to fracture the cPanels
Yes.
so that you have a separate one for each. And you mentioned that not all hosting companies allow you access to do something like that. So do you have a group of hosting companies that you know that do or that you know that don't?
That I don't, I don't. But I usually, when I start a company or where I work somewhere new, I set up a WP Engine. So WP Engine does that for you out of the box. So yeah, so that's the best recommendation I will give you. Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts on if an organization has single sign-on? Should they use that, or should they set up their own login?
That's a great question. I don't like it. I like when someone has different logins for each person. But again, if someone accesses the database, they could get hacked that way as well. So I would recommend having a username and password for everybody. I know something new also that's coming out now that I see a lot is the magic email, I think it's called, where you're trying to log in and they send you an email with a code and then you put that code. That's very hackable as well. So I still think that it's better to have a username and password. I think, yeah.
I had a client that recently had someone leave their company, and they had written a lot of good content for the website, and we wanted to keep them credited, so we ended up changing them to no role for this site. Do you think that's is that secure? Is that risky to do that?
No, that's fine. If you want to keep if they want to keep their credits, just make sure that you update their password as well.
Okay.
You could update password and email, and they won't have access, and then change the role as well. Yeah, that's fine. Yes.
You mentioned cross-site scripting. Is that something you can turn on or off in cPanel, or is that a plugin that you can block it? Or?
I'm pretty sure the security plugins have that out of the box, but usually if you scan your site, it will tell you exactly what's wrong.
Security plugin do you use?
Security.
Is that free version? Or
It has a free version.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And then I don't know if you ever heard of which one is it? The one with the spider. For SEO?
WordPress?
No, the one with the spider for SEO across your website. I'll remember the name right now. It's a free also software that you download, and that one tells you everything that's wrong with your website.
What's that? How about that?
No, it's a logo with a spider, crawl, SEO. I'll remember in a few minutes. Any other questions? Sorry. All right. Well, I guess I'll give you some time back. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you.